Crochet a candy corn jellyfish with me. Let's get started. Now before I get too far into this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more crocheting content. Materials needed for this project, I'm using an L hook. Then we have a stitch marker. This is one of the ones that latches closed. And then we have a threading needle. And I'm using Bernat blanket yarn. It is a size 6, as you can see on the back. These are the safety eyes that I am using. I have all different sizes in here. Basically, you'll pick what you think the best size is. We're going to start in white sparkly yarn, and for round 1, we are going to put 6 single crochets inside a magic ring. For round 2, we are going to increase, so 2 single crochets in every single stitch until we get to 12. Round 3 is going to be a single crochet and then an increase all the way around until you have 18 stitches. Here you can see me counting my stitches to make sure that I have 18, which indeed I do. I also like to check to make sure I have enough rows. Now for the start of round 4, we are going to single crochet 18 all the way around. We're here gonna switch to orange yarn on the last stitch of row 4. I feel like it makes it look a little bit cleaner. So we're gonna pull our yarn through and then we're gonna grab our orange and pull that through the 2 loops. Round 5, we're going to single crochet 18 all the way around. Round 6, single crochet 18 again. Round 7 is going to be 18 as well. We're now going to switch to yellow yarn the same way we switched to the orange yarn. You're just going to pull it through in the last stitch of round 7. Round 8, you're going to single crochet 18. Round 9 is going to be 18 single crochets as well. This is what it should look like at this point. Now this is what the top of our jellyfish is going to look like at this point. I like to flip my work inside out, as you can see, so all my strings are on the inside. Round 10 is going to be a little bit different. You're going to half double crochet, half double crochet, all in one stitch. And then you're going to slip stitch into the next one. Now all of this is done working in front loops only. Now since I flipped my work inside out, this is going to look like the back loop the way I'm doing it. So if you don't flip your work like that, you will be going into the opposite loop. Here we're going to cut our yarn and pull it through the slip stitch that we just made. Now I'm going to flip it back, and this is what the top portion looks like. Now I'm going to tie off all the strings that I have from changing colors on the inside before I flip it back out again. Here is where we're going to attach safety eyes. I like to add them right where the white meets the orange. You can put them as far apart as you want or as close together as you want. It just depends on your personal preference. Size-wise of the safety eyes also depends on just what you think would look best. Now I'm going to attach the mouth, and I'm going to use my threading needle for this. I am using a smaller type of yarn. It is also velvet yarn. You don't have to put a mouth in if you don't want to. It's totally optional, but I am going to put it right in between the eyeballs, a couple rows down. Now for our bottom piece, we are going to make another magic ring and single crochet 6 inside it. Our second row is going to be an increase in every single stitch to 12. Round 3 is going to be a single crochet and an increase to 18. Now here we are going to cut our yarn and pull it through. And make sure that tail is very long so we can sew it on to the bottom of our jellyfish, but not yet. We're now going to make the tendrils. I'm going to make 2 different kinds. I'm going to make the spiral ones as well as just a regular chain one. I make 3 of each. So you're going to chain 14. And once you get to the end, you're just going to pull your hook through the yarn and cut it. Now for the second one, this is the spiral one. You're going to chain 14 again, and when you get to the end of your chain, you're going to go back down your chain, skipping the stitch closest to your hook, and you're going to put 2 single crochets in every single stitch that you made. Now this can be a little bit difficult to see your stitches. You will know if you're missing stitches just because it won't curve, it won't have a curl to it, so just make sure that you're counting when you do this. If you do this correctly, you should have 26 stitches at the end. There's the two different types of tendrils that I am making, and now I'm going to make all of them and I will meet you back. This is what all of them look like, and now we're going to attach them to that bottom piece. So all I'm doing is I'm just taking the long ends and I am pulling them through this little bottom circle that we've made. So I'm going to wrap it around my hook and I'm just going to pull it through. Now which side you use is totally up to personal preference. I usually use the side that doesn't have the string hanging out, just so I don't have to weave it back in. Now that we have all of them through, I'm just going to go through and tie all of the threads together so they don't come loose. And I will cut them at the end so they're not so long. Now that we have our bottom done, it is time to attach it to our top piece. So here you can see me pulling that little tail from the top through just so I can put it on the inside and it's not seen. This is where the threading needle is going to come in handy to be able to slip all of that yarn through each of the loops. You can do it with a crochet hook, but I've found that it is easier to use the needle. Now the stitch that we're going through is the underside stitch of row 10, and it will make a little ridge when you look at it, so you'll be able to see it very clearly. Now once we get it almost closed, it is time to stuff it. I did use polyfill for the stuffing. I also used some of my yarn scraps that I had cut off just so I didn't waste them on the inside. You want to make sure not to overstuff it. You will see me take a little bit of stuffing out here just because there's a little bit too much in there for me. Now we're going to finish closing off the bottom of the jellyfish, and then I will take the rest of the string and I will just weave it through the bottom just to ensure that it doesn't come loose. And there you have it. There is the finished little jellyfish. A pretty easy pattern. Good one for beginners if you're new to crocheting. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will try to post more tutorials for you guys, but I just figured this was an easy one for everyone to learn, and I hope y'all enjoyed.